So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a dick theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do that.
We're not sluts.
We just love love.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Adam.
And this is Mrs. Adam.
And we have two special guests. We're going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Blue Steel.
And I'm the lady.
No, you're the lady.
Sorry, the lady. Better?
Wow, we're 10 seconds into this. We've already lost control.
Yeah, and those of you that were listening last week, they were already on and discussing body image issues with us last week. We're going to continue that.
Yeah, what up?
Yeah.
Body image. Don't we all hate we love to hate ourselves.
We do.
Yubba dub dub. Anyone who listens to Rick and Morty.
We don't. We have no idea what that is.
No.
Oh, you have to watch Rick and Morty.
Okay.
You would love Rick and Morty. Wubba dub dub. Sorry. There are people
Well,
laughing.
we're off to a good
There are
start.
people laughing at me. Just not you.
There are two people laughing at me. Thank you to our two laughers. Yeah, so we're continuing on this this journey of self-hate.
Self-acceptance?
It may, well, let's just say self-acceptance. That's a good
It
way to
always
put
starts
it.
with self-hate, and then you learn to accept it and move on.
It's the 7
Hell
levels
with
of
it.
grief. I don't know. I'm still in bargaining, I think. Yes.
I'm in returns.
God damn it. I'm in the buy one, get one free section.
I'd like another butt cheek, please.
What would you do with another butt cheek? You would have 3 then.
Oh, imagine 2 holes. That'd be awesome.
God, I love you. So what you've just described is what we call women.
Oh man, fuck! I would love a clitoris. God, that would be good. Actually, and I would.
You have a clitoris. It's
No,
called
this
a
is
penis.
no. This is really.
You have like an 8-inch clitoris.
No. If I could actually give, in my life, and I probably will, to give like certain people advice about what you should do with a woman is like you treat the clitoris like the world's tiniest penis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, you give that thing a head job, and yeah. I mean
A little suction?
yeah, well, just really give it some love, and yeah, you get the response. But I mean, I've like moving from straight world into gay world, TM. That's the thing I miss the most is actually going down on the woman. Like going down on the woman is
Hello, I'm right
awesome.
here. You have a chance.
And I have, like I do. I love going down on you because you have the best reactions.
It's true.
But just
I
like,
know.
yeah, but like, but it's awesome. Like, if, just that you do it right and you just like, you're watching the reactions and you're getting all the feelings and everything. It's just fantastic. It's
I
the
don't
most
know about
wonderful
you, lady,
thing.
but I'm getting a little wet over here.
I'm getting a little bit hot, actually.
A little bit flushed in the cheeks.
As soon as Blue Steel said that, the lady's eyebrows just went up about a centimeter. Like, I'm right here.
I'm listening.
Mr. Adam has Mrs. Adam, but I don't currently have anyone here.
You want to drink some more sugar? You don't want to drive home, do you?
I got some sugar for you right over here.
The lady's like, don't roofie me, but if you do, it takes 2.
Then you don't remember it. There's no fun.
Okay.
Well, we video it for that.
That's why we have the camera set up in the ladies' room. Oops, I've said too much.
Next week on YouTube.
We're trying to increase our readership.
You've already told me, okay, be fine on Twitter, but Facebook doesn't allow that shit.
I know, right? That's why we don't have.
That's why we don't do a lot on
That's
Facebook.
why you only have 2
Yeah.
That's why you have 2 followers on
We're
Facebook.
up to 7.
no,
fucker.
7,
10,
yeah.
10.
Ooh,
Oh, we're up to 10.
Yeah.
double digits.
Fantastic.
Wow, I know, right?
Unfortunately, we can't put a lot of stuff up on Facebook,
Yeah,
so
'cause
that's
Facebook
why.
takes it down.
Yeah.
Facebook is wah wah. Anyway.
No,
all right,
Twitter
all right.
is awesome for that shit.
That was our intro. God damn it.
Excellent.
Look, we've already had to do 2 episodes with these fuckers. Let's limit it to that.
Hello, delivery on the tangent.
Mrs. Atom, you're in charge of this show. I'm just the pretty
Oh, I
face.
was in charge of the first one. Now you're in charge of this
I
one.
don't have any notes.
Well, I only have 3 very large notes over here. Can
All right,
you
we'll
read?
start with the first note. I can't read it.
Body size.
I don't have my
Body
glasses
size and shaming.
on. All right, body size and shaming.
Are you not going to take it and run with it?
Well, you're worried that you're not big enough.
Oh, I'm worried that we're going straight
Well, we're
to
going to number
no,
one and number
no,
3.
no,
All
no,
right.
I'm talking about you like you know.
We're starting
Oh,
at the
you're
bottom.
talking
No, no,
muscles
as our discussion, like
Yeah.
you're worried that you can't put on weight. You're worried that you can't build up your size.
like tone wise, muscle wise. I know I probably could. I just don't have the desire to do it.
I don't know that you actually really could. I think even if you were like a big, like, I mean, you could tone up, yes, but I don't think you would ever put on bulk.
I don't want to be like Lou Ferrigno. I'm not looking to be the Hulk.
Yeah.
I just want to have like
But because of your sugar issues, etc., like, is it difficult for you to bulk up?
it's a little harder for me to bulk up. Yes. So for new listeners who didn't listen to last week, number one, go listen
Just
to
go
last
listen,
week.
yeah.
Fucking A. For constant listeners, you know I'm type 1 diabetic, and so I will say now, and this has only been in the last 2 years since we've moved to Australia. When I take off my shirt, I'm confident. Like I have that. I am comfortable. Like, and this is what's really funny.
You have a little swagger.
Blue Steel may laugh at this, but I have learned how to take off and put on a T-shirt by watching Blue Steel.
Is this the crossover?
Yes.
Do I do that?
Yeah, do.
Oh, that's
You do
hilarious.
the whole, you cross over, and by crossover I mean your right hand goes to the left hip, and the left hand goes to the right hip, and you pull it off in one smooth motion, and your shirt comes inside out. Which that's the first half of sexiness. The second half of sexiness is being able to put that inside out shirt back on without turning it right side out. And I do that as well. And I will admit, the first few times that I tried to imitate you, I had the shirt on backwards. At one point I tried to put my head through a sleeve. At one point it just was bad.
Dude, you know what's really funny? Like, you know why I do that so I don't mess up my hair? Because if you hold it that way, the neck actually comes over the top of your head and it doesn't mess up your hair.
That makes me so happy. Because I'm really vain about my hair. That's a happy accident. But no, I have imitated you in taking my shirt off and putting it back on.
That is hilarious.
And I find that when I do that, I feel sexy about myself. And I know that Mrs. Adam has seen it. I know that the lady has seen it. I mean, it's like anytime I can take off my shirt, that's how I take off my shirt. Which, let's take a little tangent. I know, right?
A tangent from the tangent.
Bear with me. So this last week, I was in Melbourne, and I may have had a lady friend come over. Mrs. Adam. No, Mrs. Lady. I almost called you. The lady and I shared an apartment because we were down there for work, and we shared an apartment. And I brought over a lady friend to the apartment, and I felt really guilty because this lady friend happens to be a wee bit on the loud side.
A screamer.
And a giggler. And a giggler. And
A talker.
yeah, she's loud. And so we'll let the
You can
lady
say it, lady.
We'll let the lady talk about this in a second. But what I tried to do, I was wearing a t-shirt, an undershirt, and then a button-up shirt, and then a sweater over that. So I tried the sexy takeoff. Well, halfway through my sexy takeoff, my left shoulder got stuck. But the issue was I took my pants off first. So I'm standing there in my underwear with a shirt and a sweater wrapped around my head like this, and I wish the folks at home could see, but wrapped around like this, and then I was like, and then I got stuck like this, and it was stuck. So I started doing the waist bend like this.
No. What you have to do is you have to shuffle over and put your iPod on, much like a T-Rex. You shuffle over, you put your iPod and go, "It's a sexy dance."
So
You go, "This is all for you. If you don't appreciate it, you can just get fucked."
So
I wish the people at home could see the reenactment here.
she's laying on the bed in her bra and panties. and I'm stuck like this, doing the waist bend like a bird.
Hands over your head.
Did she offer to help?
No, because she.
Fuck her.
But no, because she was enjoying the show. She started giggling, and I don't know, lady, if you heard her giggle.
Was that a giggle or just a full-on belly laugh? Because I think I heard that one.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, awesome.
Fuck you. Then I got it almost off, and she actually said something to the effect of, "Have you done this before?"
Did it mess up your hair?
Man, when I finally got those 2 layers off, and the ladies left the room. So when I finally got those.
What the folks at home don't realise is both Mr. Adam and I have a full head of hair,
Yes.
and so that shit takes product.
So yeah, lots of product. So when I finally got this stupid thing, I don't know, I was stuck and it was like, I can't get it off, and I threw the shirt off as sexily as I could at that point. Yeah, so my shirt flies, whatever. It goes over the bed and over the lady laying on the bed. Because, that's how you...
At least it didn't land on her.
I don't know. It might have been sexier if it had landed on her. Because
On the
thinking it
face, no,
probably
that's
would have,
such an
Because
80s movie move.
Because
Shirt on the face.
It's funny that you say 80s movie move, because then I stand up and I do the bend and snap.
Ooh.
All right, everybody's
Bend
watching.
and snap.
Yeah, I know, everybody's watching.
Legally Blonde.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
Bend
So I did the bend and snap, and I had my hands on my hips, and that's when she did the belly laugh. So, lady, when you heard the belly laugh, that's what had happened.
The bend
And
and
snap.
the problem with all of this is, I still had a goddamn t-shirt on. And I'm like,
Wait.
Round
so,
2.
Wait, so you took off the sweater and the button up at the same time?
yeah, that was mistake number 1. That was what I did. That was my
yeah.
mistake. It's because I unbuttoned a couple of the buttons at the top of the neck, and then whatever. So I did that, and then I'm like, all right. I can take this t-shirt off sexy. I'm going to take it off blue steel style. So I tried.
And you failed.
I failed. Because...
You make me sound like such a wanker.
No, you're sexy. I'm the wanker, asshat. So you do it, and you're like smooth, and we need to have you do it for the lady at some point before we leave. That way she
I
can
saw it
see.
at the beach that day.
Yes.
Don't worry.
So she can see what it's supposed to look like. But I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna do it sexy like, and I start going up like this, and then I get it sort of stuck at like just
Shoulders
below
Shoulder blades.
Yeah.
just below my shoulder blades, and I'm trying to get it up, so I'm doing the quick shimmy back and forth like this. But then I'm like, now I look like I've got a shiver and I'm cold, and I'm like, I
And
don't
then you're
wanna-
trying to shake your boobs.
Yeah, and I don't got boobs, so I'm like, anyway. So the shirt pops off above me, and it literally flies up into the air, and then layers back down on my head. So I'm basically standing next to the bed with this nice, lovely lady wanting to have sex with me.
You've given her an awesome story.
And I have my white t-shirts hanging on me with elf ears like it's a halo, and I got my underwears on, and I'm like, you like this? Do you want some of this?
You want a piece of this?
Oh God! So that's what happened. That was my story. So I know. Listen. Focus on what you're good at. So I quickly.
But then you fucked up.
I moved right into oral because that's where I'm good at. I'm
You
the
shine
king.
at
I am the
that,
king. We were talking about shining in the last podcast. My shine is oral. I'm like the king because I will move down there. I'll set up camp. I have a little flag there that says Mr. Atom was here. It's like this is like K2 base camp. That's what I'm looking at. And so I sat, and then that's when she started the screaming into the pillow thing.
Oh, I had that too. I'm in the other room because this time
We share a bedroom wall.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Did you have headphones?
Oh, so
Not
the
this
bedroom's...
time because my ears are all blocked from the colds. So I had this Turkish soap opera that has this cheesy music, and every time it got a little loud, I'd turn it up a little bit more, and then it'd get quiet again. I'm like, okay, I can hear again.
So
Turn
you
it back
guys
down.
actually shared a bedroom wall.
We
but
shared
they
a
weren't-
wall.
So, because I know once
Yeah.
before the rooms were on opposite
Yeah,
sides.
no,
this
not
time.
this time.
Okay.
No.
Mistake number 1.
Yeah, the lady wasn't
Now
lucky
you
enough
know.
for that. No, I mean, but it was just her screaming and
Yeah.
laughing and crying.
And quite honestly, it was
she's
quite...
some women are laughers.
Yeah.
And she is one. When she orgasms, she giggles, which to me is
And some
Kinda
women,
cute.
Unsettling.
some women are criers. After they come, they cry.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never had that.
Yeah,
That
so
would be weird.
it's only
Yeah.
weird if it's a guy.
I've had that too.
See?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've had the guilt and shame. I go, dude, that was awesome. Yeah, but now I'm really angry and sad. Oh, okay, bye.
Hey, I apologize for that. So I feel sorry for the lady because she had to. How on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was it? 1 being not bad at all, 10 being first day in high school and you're naked.
It was about a 3. I actually found it quite funny, and I was texting with one of my beaux. Not quite live updating, just saying. I just had to turn the Turkish soap opera up just a little bit.
Did you take it as comedy, as kitsch, or as cautionary tale?
Listen, I saw the text. I was very proud of the. He asked her something. He said something. She's like, Mr. Adams' girl or whatever is really enjoying herself, and he's
and
like,
really was in capital letters.
It was. And then I don't know the time difference, but at a later time, he asked her. You know, he's like, "Oh, I wish that could be us." And she's like, "Well, she's still really having a good time." And he was like, "Still." So
You
yeah.
really did put up a flag, didn't you?
Hey, man, look, I know what I'm good at, and I focus on what I'm good at, and I do not stop until she comes.
You got some kick-ass jaw muscles.
I do.
Speaking of jaw muscles,
Whoa.
what about body size and jaw sizes and all that sort of thing? How do you guys feel about that?
Like body size.
Are you, okay, so focusing on jaws, are you talking about like as far as like face shape, or are you talking about like actual teeth themselves?
Jaw shape, teeth, everything to do with the like mouth.
Is this like a
and kinda
grooming
area.
type thing? or-
No.
Okay.
So I like bigger guys. I don't really
Okay.
like scrawny guys. But one of my key turn-offs like outweighs body size, even hair, everything like that is bad teeth.
Like Austin Powers.
That's interesting.
Like-
Okay, Austin Powers bad teeth.
Bad teeth, gappy teeth, and I know that's something that can't be controlled because it's genetic, but I just can't stand it. But
Because
what
you
do
have
you?
damn nice teeth.
Thank you. I look after them. But do any of
That's
you guys?
important to you.
Yeah, that's like probably the number one thing for me.
Wow.
Biggest turn on, turn off.
Which
do
is
you guys
interesting
have
because
anything
you
like
guys
that?
being Americans, like Americans have amazing teeth. And like I'm dating an American and he said the same thing. He said in Australia, he said, hot guy, great body, oh shit, bad dental.
So I don't have. I think
Interesting.
of the 4 of us sitting at the table, I have the worst teeth, and I had braces for a very long time, and I still have fucking bad teeth because I didn't wear my retainer. But of the 4 of us at the table, I have the worst teeth.
But you still have all your teeth.
I do. Well, most of them, yes.
What you probably notice, like I've actually from fights, I've actually lost a couple of teeth. So like that, you can't really see it.
No.
And there's one back there.
Because it's way in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I've lost teeth,
Yeah.
and which is like really terrible cletus. But like, luckily they're not one you can actually really see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you are a slack-jawed yokel.
Yeah, well, I do
Aw.
come from out there. Which is
So-
really,
so
which
teeth is
is
really
really funny because like because
Yeah.
I could talk like a real Australian, like where I came from, as you know. But I used to get made fun of in like at school and stuff because I read a lot, and so I actually spoke really well. So everyone else used to really talk slow and kind of like real Aussie and kind of bogan, and I would just talk like a dork. And they go, "What are you from? Like a private school?" And no, I'm from the same school you are. Fuck knuckle.
Fuck knuckle, I love it.
That's one of my favorite Aussieisms. G'day, fuck knuckle.
Well, fuck chop.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I would drop somebody strictly because of their teeth.
They'd have to be really bad for
They
me.
would have, the teeth would have to be horrific.
Yeah.
For me, that's the one thing
Yeah.
that I like. First date, if the guy or girl has really awful teeth, it's just not something I can do.
Do they have
you
bad
guys?
breath to go with it though?
It doesn't matter. I don't get that close. I'm talking about. Do you guys have one physical thing that is just the complete no way? At first sight, you're just like, God, no.
Oh, I'm embarrassed. That's a bad question because I do, and again, mine is something that is you can't
Safe
really...
space. You're in a safe space.
I know, but I always feel bad saying that because I hate to.
But it's a personal opinion. Everyone has something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
so
different.
my first thing is smell. It is if we chemically don't work together, that is almost immediately noticeable. But what the problem with that is
Smokers. Really,
So I
really
can-
intense smokers.
some smokers you can still get around and they don't smell like smoke.
no, but when that
Well,
shit,
some
when that
of
shit
them-
comes out of their pores,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad. But for me, it's even
I'm
beyond
gonna
that.
out myself as a non-smoker. Like I have dated smokers, but smokers who are like, you know, like you said, it's a little bit of taste in the mouth, but when it comes out the pores, it's hideous.
I am even.
But you're talking, Mr. Adam is talking more like pheromones and like actual body smell.
There are
Yeah.
people that I've played with, and I'm like, I like the guy, and I think he's great, or not as much women, but I can think of one woman in particular that this happened with, and there was just it would be great, and it's like, I think of it as like a Mozart symphony. And so sex is the symphony, and as it's playing out, it's building in intensity, and it's great, and then suddenly you get this whiff, and then it's like somebody just takes this Mozart symphony and suddenly hits this all the notes on the piano at once.
Second violin's really shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The symphony's great, but second violin is rubbish.
And then you're like, whoa. And so that sort of breaks down the intensity of the piece. And so you're building up and you hear this and da 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 and you're like, ugh. And you can't get past that. That is the first thing for me.
And I've had that, not just off the bat, but I've had that where I've played with someone and it was really great, it was really awesome, and then afterwards they start to sweat, and the smell of their sweat doesn't match. And you're just like, and that just turned me off. It's like everything else was really great up until then, but that smell afterwards, the after sex smell was just
You've
didn't
mentioned
work.
that before.
Yeah, for me that is very important, because if I can't stand that, then I'm like, get away, and I don't want to do that with a partner, you know. So.
But physically, like looking at somebody,
Yeah.
I'm a nose guy. Yeah.
Like big,
Interesting.
wiggle, crooked.
I don't like noses that stick out. Your nose needs to sort of blend in with your face. If your nose is too giant, if it's too small, if it's broken, if it's got this weird twist to it, I don't find that as
You don't
endearing.
like broken noses?
I don't find that endearing.
What about sexy broken noses?
No, there's no sexy broken. Name a sexy broken nose.
Oh, there are lots of sexy broken noses.
Yeah, and you can't come up with any of them off the top of your head, can you?
Yeah, Bruce Willis is in certain things, yeah, kind of cool. No, I was fucking a Pilates instructor who looked like Bruce Willis. Yeah, he was hot. He had a broken nose.
Anyway, God, that's great. Yeah, that's my thing. That's my physical, like, grinder, swipe left. I realize you don't swipe both on grinder. So, Tinder, swipe left, grinder, ignore.
Ghost.
Yeah, I ghost. I don't ghost them. I just say, look, not going to work. I block them. Anyway. Mrs. Adam?
I'm trying to think of something for guys. I can't think of one physical feature. I don't know if Mr. Adam has something offhand, but I can't think of anything for guys that turns me off particularly. But for girls, I would say it's for girls if she looks too high maintenance, then immediately I'm not even interested at all. I like, a woman who takes care of herself and looks good and whatnot, but if they look that kind of very high maintenance, almost to the fake end, and like that's all they're gonna care about,
Like
then,
Barbie.
Yeah, like Barbie, then that immediately turns me off.
Random tangent. There was a man who wanted to divorce his wife because he saw her without her makeup for the very first time, because she had kept it on for like some ridiculous amount of time during their marriage, and she got wet and it washed off.
Oh wow.
That's horrible.
That's awful,
crazy.
isn't it?
Wait, was that in the States?
I don't know. I heard
Was that
it-
Donald Trump?
he can't do that because he's got more on than she does.
Oh!
Snap.
Did I just do a burn?
That was great!
But is that the kind of woman that you're talking about, and the man that you're kind of talking about? Is they spend so much time on them, on making them look making themselves look a certain way, that they don't have time to develop themselves.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
All it is the shell.
Yeah.
It's interesting because Sylvester Stallone, when he did the movie called Copland, he actually had to get fat. And he said it was the most liberating experience because it's the first time in his life he wasn't hiding inside a shell of muscle, and he was allowed to be fat. And it's arguably his best acting performance because, you know, aside, Stallone can actually act when he's not just being a fucking
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, but it's just, if you ever watch that movie Copland, like, it's very, very underrated. It's one of his best performances, but he's actually fat, and he said it was incredibly liberating not to be hiding inside a shell of muscle.
Well, I've heard that from other Hollywood actors where they play these roles where they have to get fat, and they talk about how they're treated.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, as soon as you put on a little weight, you know, people treat you differently. And for me, I think that's monstrous because I will say that for me, I like my women. Like Mrs. Adam is at the thin side of what I like, but the reason that she is still to me extremely attractive is that she's got the big ass, big breasts. Like I know Blue Steel calls her the Gypsy Princess, which I absolutely love.
You have a beautiful, voluptuous body.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm attracted to women that are easily 16, size 16, size 18, size 20. I still find them attractive because it's not exactly how you're built. It's how you're perceived.
How you carry it.
How you carry it. I had a family member.
It's the confidence, and it's being confident in yourself, but it's also accepting yourself and being comfortable in your body, and like you said before, Blue Steel, you just owning that, and you know you're comfortable with who you are, how you move, and how you act.
Right, and I feel like now that I left a cliffhanger, that people really need to be. I need to wrap that up because I am from Kentucky, and I just said I have a family member, and people are like, "Wait, what?" No, but I had a sister-in-law who was overweight, and she was probably a size 20, 22. I thought she was beautiful. I still think she's beautiful. She was always one of those beautiful people because she was a beautiful person, and that I never see that men and women. So the men that I tend to go towards are usually at least 1.5 times my weight, if not twice my size. Those are the guys I really like. You're just lucky, Blue Steel.
No, but I would say the same thing. Like, I like big guys.
I like big guys.
I like big guys.
My men, I want to be like grr men.
Well, yeah, like I said, like Sergeant Sparkle is easily half again my size.
Yeah, he's to me one of those. He's like the perfect guy. I look at him and I'm like, sploosh. Like I am so, and maybe because he's so. Like I'm not allowed to be attracted to him, kind of thing. That makes me so attracted to him. But I know, right? You always want what you can't have. But women. I some of the women that I've been with are anywhere from a size 8 to size 18, and those are the women that I find extremely attractive.
And I've got a number of friends like in the States who that's what they liked, is they liked the women who were a little bit on the heavier side. They're like, I don't want a stick, but yet society tells you that that's what you should be.
Yeah.
But that's not actually reality.
Oh, but they're so soft.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing. You don't want to stick because I'm afraid I might cut myself.
No, but also there's, I mean, we're talking healthy acceptance of that. I mean, like you're a beautiful woman.
Thanks.
You're not a stick. You are.
I never will be.
No, but you don't have to be. And
don't want to be.
It's awful to feel you have to conform to that.
And to get a little personal with you, Miss Lady, you've actually lost quite a bit of weight over the past year, 2 years. How long has it been now?
A year to 18 months, I lost 10 kilo.
Yeah.
10 kilos. So for our American listeners, that's like 25, 28 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which is quite a bit. Yeah.
And it's muscle weight as well. So yay!
You
Yay
look
for
great.
Me.
Yeah.
Thanks. So I found that I got to a point where I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with anything, and someone very close to me said something quite hurtful. And I thought, well, fuck you, I'll show you. And it was enough motivation to get me up and off my ass and to the gym, eating better.
Do you see that as a positive thing now? Oh, yes, they were horrible, but do you take that as a personal victory?
I do, but it still hurt.
It still stings.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
No, but
feel
the whole fuck you, like.
Oh, that was my motivation.
Yeah.
I use fuck you
Sorry,
as my
that's what I
motivation
meant,
for
yeah.
everything.
I will say, in defense of the lady, everything that she does is typically a fuck you motivation.
Yeah, it's not hard to motivate me. Just tell me I can't do something, and I'm like, fuck you, I
I'll
can.
show you. That's why I like her.
What was the question again?
You were talking about the fuck you, your motivation for losing the weight.
Yeah, so I did that. I felt better about myself. I had a lot more energy.
Did you
And-
find that having then more energy kind of kept you going a bit
Absolutely.
more? Yeah.
Like I said on the last podcast, if I don't exercise, I actually find I get antsy now and I get really frustrated and I just need to go out and do things.
You get addicted to those endorphins and the dopamine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. This is an extremely personal question.
Here we go.
So let's say 2 years ago, you look at the lady in the mirror naked. What were your thoughts? And then now, when you look at yourself tomorrow morning naked in the mirror, what are your thoughts? How's that changed?
I didn't like who I saw 2 years ago.
Why?
I just wasn't very happy.
Was it because of what people had said about you, or was it your own internal monologue?
It was definitely my own internal monologue that led the parade, and just everything else coming in behind it. What I see now, though, is definitely the fuck you lady. Yeah, exactly. Because right now, I don't give a flying fuck what anybody else thinks. I know I've done the work. I know that I will continue to do the work. And if anyone has a problem with it, that's exactly what it is.
and it's
their problem.
It's
Yeah.
their problem.
Well, your
Exactly.
Twitter followers love you. That's clear.
I think they're
Yeah.
obsessed with my toes.
There's always those people.
I cater to those people. That's
awesome.
That's the biggest fetish out there.
Yeah, she has lovely
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can say the same thing because I'm like I take a certain medication which actually makes you obese, and I struggle with that every day. And when I first started taking it, I ballooned up 15 kilos, and then I was with a certain person, dating, and that was all good with them. They didn't care, but I remember it was like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday after whatever. And I looked at myself and went, oh, that's not who I want to be. I don't want. This is the point where I reach. I can be a dad bod like everyone else who is in their 40s, or I can do something about it. And I took up long distance running, and and I dropped that 15 kilos. I've come back, because I went from 70 to 85, and then back to 70, and now I'm more sort of high 70s because it's moderate. It's that's where my body sits for this age. But it's a matter of don't be obsessive. So your life is about the exercise. Just fit it in and be happy with who you are.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So I know we have another subject. Do we want to? I have a question
Yeah,
that
go
I want
ahead.
to ask you.
Go
Right.
for it.
So, all right, we talked about when you look in the mirror. We talked about this on the last podcast. When you look in the mirror, what don't you like? So now let's look at a more positive side. When you stand in front of the mirror and you're naked, what do you think is your most ideal? What are you proudest of? What are you happiest with? The lady's smiling. She's got an answer. I
What do you
love
have,
it.
lady?
What do you have?
My hair. I love my hair.
So it's your hair. So you've
Absolutely.
done all this work over the last 12 months to lose 10 kilos. And the thing that you're most happy with is the thing that you could have changed with all the weight.
Yeah, probably.
That's amazing.
But I've
I
always
find
loved
that
my
fantastic.
hair.
I love that.
Yeah, but it does look kind of awesome.
Her hair is amazing.
But that
I've
also
always
goes to
thought-
the point that the weight maybe doesn't matter so much as the hair.
I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
And, I think that's actually enlightening because it is that thing that is perhaps the easiest to change. And I do love your hair. You have badass hair. Okay, it's fantastic.
Not everyone can pull off fire engine red,
It's
know.
absolutely
But
true.
you have great shoulders.
That's the swimming.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you're wearing your little tank top, but you have awesome shoulders. You look like a strong woman.
I'll say my favorite thing about you has always been your smile. I think you have one of those smiles that's
Yeah.
infectious. When you smile, and admittedly,
Because you have the cute little, like, your
Cherub
cheeks. Your
cheeks.
cheeks puff
Yeah,
up.
she
but
has
yet
cherub
But
cheeks.
your chin goes down to a nice little point, and you get that kind of heart-shaped look, and it's
Yeah.
just adorable.
and you don't
Yeah.
smile. I mean, you smile a lot, but I still say you don't smile enough. When you she just gave me the look.
The evil eyebrows. She gave me the
love
evil
it.
eyebrows.
I think when you smile, you're one of those lucky people that when you smile, the room smiles with you. And there's not a lot of people out there who can really say that. But I've seen that enough. I've seen enough groups that when you smile and it's a genuine, not put on smile, it lights up the room. You really do light up a room.
Aw, thanks.
You're welcome. Love you. All right, Mrs. Adam.
I would say my hourglass figure.
That's my favorite part of you.
Yeah, because even
You can wear those dresses that no one else can wear.
It's true.
I was like,
Like the latex.
She just made to look at you. Did you see that look she gave you? Damn, it was like snap. All right, go ahead.
yeah, but I would say because even if I put on a bit of weight, because your weight fluctuates a bit here and there, whatever, and so if I put some on, if I lose some, whatever, I still have that hourglass figure, and to me, I really like that. It does make it hard to wear some dresses though, because some dresses aren't made for that. But for anything, of course, skin tight and fitting and whatnot, it works very nicely for. And I think that is the one thing that even to this day, no matter what, like I said, whether I gain a few pounds or not, if I have a little belly or whatever, it's okay. It's like, because I still have that shape. And admittedly, I use that to my advantage when I'm with someone, because I know that, I'm going to, if I'm with a guy, that they appreciate that. So I just turn myself in position.
I love it.
Baby, go back.
Yeah.
I like big butts. All right, Blue Steel.
I'm going to steal your thunder. Like I love I have a bubble butt from running, and I have like really strong legs.
Yeah.
Like the funny thing is like I hate my arms. I always had little girly noodle arms. I know, you laugh at me. But also like coming from the country, like out in the country, I was a hobbit. Like I'm in the official height of Tom Cruise. Well, not anymore. He's now 5'7". I'm 5'9", which is like world average. But out in the country, I was a hobbit. And when I moved to Sydney, it was like, oh fuck, I'm average, and like especially like hanging out in Chinatown, I'm actually tall. So and then I moved to where I live in now in Sydney. I'm back to a hobbit again. But I've always perceived myself as small, but moving to Sydney like that, I just became average, which is kind of cool. But like I have strong legs and I have a bubble butt.
It's awesome. I love it.
I like to grab his ass.
He's got a great ass.
Yeah.
And you have a great ass.
I
know that's your favorite feature.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's absolutely. I mean, anybody who watches our Twitter feed knows that that my favorite, what I think is the best about me, is definitely my ass. I love my ass.
Yeah, but you have like I describe you as adorable.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
No, but the funny thing is like a mutual friend introduced us, and he said, "Oh, you and Bradford will get on like house on fire." The first time I sat down with Mr. Adam at a table, it was like we just nerded out like you would not believe. It was Buffy, it was Battlestar Galactica, it was vampires, it was Batman, then it was Marvel, and then it was why DC's fucking up and not doing as well, and then what Marvel is doing as well, and the new Marvel TV that's coming. Like it was just like bang, 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 bang. And it was wonderful. It was great fun.
It really
It was
was.
interesting because his friend had said, you have to meet Mr. Adam. Like, and the two of us, like, as soon as we met, and
I remember that
and
as
Mrs.
well.
Adam, like, because you know your nerd culture as well, and so you're like going bang, bang, bang at the sort of times, but Mr. Adam and I, it was just bang, 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 bang straight away.
Yeah, the problem though is I can't get a fucking word in edgewise between the two of you.
Well, we actually said this for the podcast, and my entire thing for this night was just to be shut up and wait your turn.
You've done well with that.
No.
It's anyway. So I would say that mine is my ass.
Your ass.
Yeah, I absolutely love my ass.
So let's move on to the elephant in the room.
All right,
one
what
is
is
that?
the elephant
Or
in
the
the room?
midget in the room. Okay, the one thing about guys, and this is amazing, one thing that guys, and they really do not need to worry about, but they all stress about, is how big is your cock?
Oh, that's not true.
A lot of guys do.
No, I'm saying you should worry about that.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask something?
Yes.
And I don't know if Mr. Adam or if you or who would be better to answer this, but is it different for a gay guy versus a straight guy versus a bi guy? Or does every guy worry about the size of their penis?
I would say gay guys are worse.
Oh, gay guys are the fucking worst.
Oh, it's just, yeah.
I was confident until I became bi.
Interesting.
I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
wondering whether gay guys just talk about it more.
It's all about size queens.
Yeah,
yeah?
and it's just
Okay,
okay.
fair enough.
Can I talk from perspective because you
Sure.
guys have talked before about me on the podcast and blah blah blah, and I don't perceive myself that way at all
Which way?
as big.
You're
I know what you guys have said about me before, but you have to understand. Okay, so I grew up.
I mean,
in,
you're not like a roll of cookie dough big, but
no,
you're
no, no,
big.
no. But I'm not. But okay, that's my point. Is like I grew up in the country, which is like extraordinarily homophobic. I've always been bi. I've
Okay.
always been into guys and always been into girls. Played footy, so there was footy showers. Of course, no one is hard in the footy showers. And there is guys who are really small. There are guys who are really big. There are showers and there are girls. Blah blah blah. So I grew up, and also seeing porn. Like I perceive myself as just average and normal. And girls would go, "Oh, you've got a really big dick." You go, "You say that to all the boys." It wasn't until I hit Gayland and then went out there and was actually experiencing time with other guys and shoot me down and say I'm a horrible person. But when I went out there, I went, fuck, everyone's got such a small dick. And was just my perception, because from porn, I had perceived myself as normal / slightly small. And then when I went out in the actual world and was having sex with guys, I'm going, fuck, everyone's got such small dicks. What is the deal? And then I kind of went, oh, fuck, okay. And there was just a thing, like, you know, and I still don't perceive it that way. Like, you know, I'm not gigantic porn fucking cock, but
You're a goddamn carrot, dude.
yeah, but it's just like, but also, and one of
I love that both the ladies giggle.
but the funny thing is another one of my play partners who I described before, who's a guy we used to hunt together, which is,
Yes.
that's the situation. He called me the carrot and I called him the cobra. His cock was the opposite. He was huge, but he had a really flared top down to a normal size shaft, whereas I am relatively normal at the top and tree trunk at the bottom.
Yes, you are.
And see, but I never.
We have a dildo that's named after you, Matt. We have a pegging device that Mrs. Adam pegs me with that we call blue steel.
But see, I never. But when you view from the top, you can't see it. And see, I used to have a real thing is like I would never do a cock shot.
It's also the fact that, you know, you're looking at it, from your perspective.
Yeah.
But you're also, because you're looking at it with your lens, you know, in front of you, you don't see it the way other people would. Somebody else would see the fact that, you know, yes, you are on the bigger side, but you look at it as, this is what I've always seen. This is what I've.
Well, this is
what
normal
I know.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you don't think of yourself as being.
Well, see, I also never seen it from the side, and that's.
You need to take.
No, but see, but the thing is, like, I had a real policy, like, you know, on the gay dating sites, I would never have cock shots. I wouldn't give anyone a cock shot. I said, come and get surprised. Like, I would much
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah.
And then when I went on other sites, like, it was just demanded, show me your cock, show me your cock, show me your cock. So I took a photo from the side, and I went, oh, fuck. Like, oh, is that what it looks like? Oh, that's actually scary.
So on that same side, I am the antithesis of you. Whereas growing up, I thought I was normal because I was with one female for a very long time. And then as soon as I got into the gay world, I was like, holy shit, I don't compare. And so I always watched porn thinking that the porn guys weren't average, they were gigantic. Holy
But
shit,
they
they're
are.
huge. Well, I know that now, but at the same time, when everybody I would play with was always bigger than me. I would say that out of 5 people that I'd play with, 1 would be my size, and 3 would be a little bit bigger than me, and 1 would be obsessively bigger than me, like frighteningly bigger than me. And where you said the whole thing where you're like, I don't want to send a cock shot because let it be a surprise. I can remember the time that I let it be a surprise and the guy left.
Oh.
And I know now that I am officially...
You know now he wasn't worth it.
I'm officially in the average range. I'm on the low side of average, but I'm still average.
No, you have
average.
You have a normal cock.
You're
I'm
average. Yeah.
Which normal...
If you look at-
normal's a nice way to
Sorry.
say-
You have an
No.
You have average.
Average,
If you look
yeah.
at statistics,
I'm average.
Mr. Adam is
I am
average.
in that beautiful average size.
Yeah.
What fucking sucks is I'm a grower, not a shower. So it starts out wee tiny and then balloons into what average is.
Well, but I can also say that as my other story I was going to tell. And I will say I have friends because people could get uncomfortable, and so I will say I have a friend. Blah
Right.
blah blah. I have a friend who, when hard, is as big as I am, but when not hard, is like
Yeah.
the size of a little finger. And that person has real issues with that. And I
have
really,
that same issue.
it was always really hard to go, and like this person from porn had real issues with it. I go, oh my God, when you're hard, it's fucking huge. But their issue was what
They see themselves otherwise.
they were a grower
Yeah.
because when
Yeah.
it was down, it was really quite small. I'm
Yeah.
going, dude, like when it's fucking up, it's up. And that's awesome. Like that's great because people go, oh, that's not great. Oh, Jesus, oh, fuck, don't put that near me.
But they're probably very self-conscious of the fact that when they're not hard, that
But that's
but
it.
they're thinking people are still judging them.
Yeah.
And
People are judging
Yeah.
you. It's not they're thinking that. It's
Yeah.
that people are judging you.
Oh, it's-
and and then I look at myself again. I'm going back to my own lens that I'm looking at myself through. Is that having issues with performance anxiety because of size-related issues. When I'm with guys, especially or women especially, but guys as well. It's one of those things that. I've never had a woman walk out, but I've had having men walk out, and not just one. That's something that sort of affects you.
Oh,
and that
but
you
yeah.
can't. But no, it's easy to say that, but
Yeah, I know that's really hard, but I mean,
You
that's,
can't-
I know that's their issue as a person, not you, but that's
and I know
hard
that
at the time.
absolutely, and I still know that. But at the same time, you're always waiting for that next person to leave you.
Can I ask? I mean, because I'm moving into gay world and wanting to be a greedy fuck and be good at everything. Like I wanted to learn how to bottom, and having never done it, like I just wanted it in my repertoire, and like trying to do it with big guys, like it. And this is the other thing is like I don't like guys with really big cocks because they're shit in bed. It goes back to the same thing. They go,
Not always.
I have a huge truncheon, just love my big cock. And I
Yeah.
go, no, I want you to be good in bed. Oh, just like me because I fucking pound you with my big cock. And go, no, dude, you've got to be better at fucking.
Yeah.
And I really find the bigger the guy's cock, the worse they are in bed. Like, I mean, especially learning to bottom, like I much prefer
I don't
smaller
always
guys.
agree with that. But go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
fair enough.
I'm talking specifically from
Sure.
my perspective. But like, it's just like, especially when I'm learning to bottom, like I definitely swung towards smaller guys and more caring guys and guys who would take the time.
I will still swing towards more caring guys, like the guy that we've talked about multiple times, Jack. He is a sweet, caring person. He's one of those people that will take control and fuck the shit out of me, but is constantly in control and
Checking in.
watching how I'm.
He recognizes limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what's safe to do. Yeah.
But it is interesting because I said, like, when I'm learning to bottom, I tended to go towards smaller guys. Where it's different. It's different
Yeah.
now. But like, I'm not a size queen. Like, if a guy
There's a lot of size queens though.
Yeah, I know,
So to
I
touch
know,
on
but
that, there's a lot of guys that are out there that as soon as they know that your junk is less than 8 inches, they block you on Grindr.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I've
Wow.
also fucked those kind of guys, those obsessive bottoms, and it's
Oh,
not
they're
a lot of fun.
horrific.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
not
not fun at
because
all.
you might as well be like throwing a stick in a bucket.
Yeah.
But I think that's also the difference between.
It's a great analogy.
I think that's also the difference between a guy who's looking only for someone to fuck versus someone who wants to have a relationship
And
with
that's
you.
the other thing that I'm always looking for.
Or a connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a connection.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm going to bottom for you, I want to like you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's not about racking up the numbers. It's about having a good time on the night.
yeah, absolutely. I see that both the lady and Mrs. Adam have taken a lot of notes. I've watched them; their pens are writing furiously as Blue Steel and I talk.
Not necessarily.
I'm curious as to
furiously.
what you all have to say.
Oh, I caught that both of you reference porn as the source of comparison here. And
Oh, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
wonderful and horrible.
but when it comes to me, for example, I didn't watch a lot of porn and never have until fairly recently. And I didn't have anything to compare to when I started out. So for me, any kind of cock was great. Didn't care. As long as the guy knew what to do with it. It was fine. But I was wondering, with the extension of porn being more available and more catered towards women, we're seeing more of the comparison of pussies and things like that. And I'm like, actually,
What's normal, what's not.
yeah, exactly.
That's an interesting. So you just made a very interesting turn to that.
I know.
I know. I think we could probably start a whole new podcast on just that because that's a good point. Because growing up, I know the first porn I started watching, I was probably 13, and that's 12, 13 when the internet was first. Yeah.
Just
shut
starting.
up, fuckers.
No, I'm back from the VHS days.
I was watching my porn on beta. So when I was stealing my dad's Laserdisc,
You're gonna make me choke.
but I was watching porn from a very young age. I would say 12 to 13. That was when I started watching porn, and it's funny because the first thing that I was looking at wasn't the women to make sure that they were hot, because at that point at 13 all women were hot.
Yeah.
I was looking at the men because those were the guys that were fucking the women. What do I need to do to look like
To
that?
be one of them. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you make that point because now you're looking at that as an adult. I mean,
But we're also looking at it as the perspective of what do we have to be those women that the guys are fucking.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to
But you
to
wouldn't
look
want to
at.
be one of those women.
But do you?
But you
because
do.
as a young boy, we wanted to be those boys. I wanted to be those boys, both, and occasionally I wanted to be
Yeah.
those women. But but the point is, you wanted to be that person in that scene, and so now you look at that, going, you've got experience, and that's what I'm curious about is how do you look at that? How does that lens give you a different perspective on it? Because for us as children looking at this, I say children, 12,
Teenagers.
12 to 15,
Adolescents.
pre-adolescence to adolescence. Looking at this, we're comparing ourselves to what we're aiming for. And you ladies are looking at this from, I've already experienced something. How do you...
And
so the question is, how do you
admittedly-
look at porn?
Admittedly, as well, both the lady and I are over the age of most of the women in the porn, and
Yeah.
so we're trying to compare
That's a-
ourselves to someone who's
You're both plus 30.
Yeah. And so we're trying to compare ourselves to someone who's in their early to mid 20s.
So, and
Yeah.
both of you are bi-ish, if not fully bi. So, I guess the question then is, do you look at the women and say, I want to be her, or do you look at the women and say, I want to be with her?
Neither for me. I look at them and go, I don't want to be her, and I definitely don't want to look like her, because to me she looks unrealistic. She looks not real, because everything about her is proportionate. Her boobs are massive, her waist is tiny, her hips are tiny, and her vagina, labia and everything like that is so very trim and symmetrical. It just looks like it can't possibly be real.
Some of it's not real. Some of it's man-made.
I'm quite aware of that. But
Some people have had the labiaplasty.
What,
Yeah.
it brings us to the
And
vaginoplasty,
exactly.
labiaplasty.
I asked
They've
the
had
question.
work done down there.
I've asked the question
Yeah.
just now, is that a real thing for real people, or is it just something for porn stars?
Well,
Sadly,
there's a real movement against it at the moment because there's the labia library.
yes, but sadly it is a real thing, because at Sexpo this
Yeah.
past year, there were 2 booths set up at Sexpo for promoting, and
Vaginoplasty.
they were for
Holy shit.
yeah,
Yes.
it was for vagina and labiaplasty, but they were for cosmetic surgery places that had booths there, and they were
God.
promoting this, and they were like,
Terrific.
"Hey, this is what we can do for you. This is how we can make you quote unquote normal."
Normal.
And I'm like, I don't. For one, there is no normal, and 2, I'm very happy with myself the way I am.
I mean, let's
I mean,
be
my-
realistic. If your inner labia are larger than your outer labia, if your outer labia are larger than your inner labia, if your
they're small,
clitoral
it doesn't
hood
matter.
is gigantic and
Yeah.
hangs over your clitoris, if your clitoral hood is small and your clitoris pops out gigantically. Dude, let me make something very clear. For any man or woman that wants to be down there, once they're down there, they don't fucking care what it looks like. They're really happy to be down there.
Same could be said for penises.
Well,
Exactly.
exactly. Like the variety is what's fun.
It is. It's what's exciting.
Yeah.
Because if you look, I mean, if Mr.
enough.
Adam and I look at all of our partners, there's a whole range out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the guys, there's a range of sizes, shapes, everything. If you look at the women, it's the same thing. And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Is that every person you're with is different. And you have to, and it's also part of the fun to then explore that person and find what works for them and what doesn't. What do they like? And that's what keeps it exciting.
Yeah. I also think we've touched on a pretty important fact here because all four of us have at some stage looked at porn as a source of reference
Yeah.
It's true.
of
Yeah.
what is normal, and you can't do that.
No, absolutely
You cannot
not.
do that. And I know there are a lot of people out there that do the same thing we've done and gone, oh, I must be different. I must be different.
There must be something wrong with
This
me.
is the ideal. This is what I need to
Yeah.
look like. And it's just bullshit.
Well, a wonderful quote is porn to real sex is what superhero films is to actual fighting.
Yeah.
They don't compare.
That's
Yeah.
true. You know, that I think both of you all make a really good point there. Wow. We need to have them on more often. That shit just got deep. It's funny because I'm listening to y'all and I'm like, oh yeah, they're absolutely right. And then yet still there's that part of me that can't turn that off. That
Because you're a classic overthinker.
no, it's not even that. I think it's because I'm human. You know, I think all of our listeners will have that issue as well.
Yeah.
You know, everybody will listen to this and go, you know, lady, you're absolutely right. You know, we shouldn't compare ourselves to porn. And then they'll listen to Blue Steel and say, you know what, you're right. You know, real sex compared to superhero sex, or I'm sorry, real sex compared to porn is the equivalent of comparing
I love fucking it up.
it's the equivalent of comparing superhero sex to fighting. But then we'll all of us, will still go back to porn and go, you know, they're right, but...
But if we've seeded that just a little
I
bit,
hope so.
No, you have to
Something.
realize it is a fantasy. It is purely a mechanism to help you get off if you don't have a partner at the time.
Yeah.
And it's one person's thought and ideal. It's the director, it's the writer, it's
And
if you can see it as a fantasy and not if you can see it as a fantasy, it's not so damaging.
And I'd also like to predict what people are going to say, because my favorite kind of porn, is air quotes, voyeuristic porn.
Mm-hmm.
It's security camera porn. It's porn,
locker room porn.
Locker room porn. It's that kind of porn. And I want to make it very clear that even like air quotes, homemade porn, security camera porn, voyeuristic porn, all of that's still scripted. None of that shit is real. None of it is real.
No,
So
absolutely not.
Because that's what pops into my mind when the lady says porn. I think manufactured like porn,
like
but,
Cable Man,
but
Pizza
then I go,
Man.
like the pizza man comes in and says, "Hello, I have pizza, and I'm here to fix your cable."
And where is that? Where is that funky soundtrack?
Yeah. Bow, chicka, wow, wow, brown chicken, brown cow.
You can't get through a podcast without beatboxing, can you?
I really love the beatboxing. I want to be a beatboxing guy. I don't know what this.
That was his next career choice.
We love you anyway.
But you know, all porn is much like reality TV. Reality TV is not real.
It's not real. Yeah.
So there's no reality porn.
This is
So-
why I don't watch television.
Yeah, smart you.
Right.
If one of our guests has a question, we would more than happily answer a question. We're putting you all on the spot now, so questions, comments, rude remarks.
Oh, I am going to make a remark. What I've spoken about is my personal preference, so please don't take it to heart or anything like that. There are lots of other people out there that love everything about you.
I think that's actually a great point. You know, it's like all of our personal preferences and remarks are
Our personal
own.
viewpoints. Yeah.
So, you know, if you're like that, if you're Quasimodo, somebody loves you.
Yeah.
There are people with Quasimodo fetishes. If you search Quasimodo porn,
Oh no.
please don't ask why I know this, but I know that you'll get a couple of videos of both people dressed as the Hunchback of Notre Dame fucking, and the Disney version of the Hunchback of Notre Dame fucking.
Oh, that's disturbing.
You'll never look at Esmeralda the same way.
No,
but
there is a whole genre of Disney porn.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it so much. Anyway.
No, but I do think that is a very good point, the lady, is that, we're all human.
The lady, I just killed the lady. She's leaving the room, folks. Yep, that's her coughing in the background because I killed her.
But I think the main thing that people have to realize is that we are all human.
Yeah.
And the same, the rules of gravity and age and childbearing and accidents and scars and all of that, they apply to every one of us. And we just have to get to the point that we can accept them and say, this is who I am. I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with it. And I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to own it, and people are going to love me for it.
And as well, when you look in the mirror and you're naked and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, absolutely, you will see your flaws. You will see the things you hate. But what you need to focus on is your positives. We all have things we hate about us. All of us have things we hate about us. And just as important as those are the things we love about ourselves. And if you focus on those things that you love about yourself and you dress to either accentuate those or you focus on those during your day, that's what's important.
Use that to your advantage.
Use that to your advantage, yeah. We've got things. We all have things. You ask any porn star, any escort, any beautiful person out there, they're going to have something that they wish that they could change.
Or you could say almost any celebrity says, I wish I looked like my covers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't look like my magazine covers.
And when you look at covers, they're photoshopped, and there's so much work that goes into them.
Well, I've worked in magazines. I can tell you I worked for 6 hours on this person's face and sent it back to their agent, and they still had notes.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's
Wow.
perfect.
Yeah.
None of us, and that's part of the problem with media, is that we compare ourselves to an unrealistic
pictures.
air quotes, reality. But, look in your mirror and see the things that you like.
And focus on that.
those. Those are the things that we all see. When you're out on the bus, when
Or
you're out on the...
listen to what people say that they like about you.
Yeah. And take that to heart, because people don't... There are people who will say it just to make you happy, but not everybody does it. And if you hear it from multiple
Most
people,
don't.
it's fucking true.
Yeah.
Listen to your partner especially.
Yeah.
Any other final comments?
I love you, Sergeant Sparkle.
Oh, God. I just splooshed a little. We're going to have to wash this seat.
Yeah, the two over here as well.
I love it. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody who listens. We definitely appreciate Blue Steel.
Hey, thanks for letting me come on. It's been awesome.
You can come on anything. And the lady.
It's messy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we love you guys. And so catch us next time. We love you all too.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning back in for part 2 of our body images discussion.
Oh, yeah. If you want to find us, you can find us at on Twitter at By the By Podcast, or on the Facebooks, www.facebook.com/bytheby podcast, or you can find us at our website, www.bytheby.com.au, or send us an email. We are theatomsoflove@gmail.com. Did I forget anything?
Nope, I think you've got it all.
You can do smoke signals, maybe wrap a note on a rock and throw it, but don't throw it through our window because that's just mean.
Yeah, please don't do that.
You can write your name on a condom.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, but you could.
you could.
But I wouldn't. Yeah. All right.
All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.